All right, we're cooking with gas. So, to cook with gas, everybody hates me because I'm under $5 a month. I don't cook much. At the end, we'll probably go through some of the choices you have on iPhones and some of the plans that you may have, some of the idiosyncrasies of the different ones. I'd like to get into the nuts and bolts of this because that's why everybody's here too. We'll go over the iPhone and some of its things. I have a neat little program here. I'm here, but I can do it up on my screen. It's very, very handy. So we talked about a few of the things: improved Siri, the flyover, call rejection. Remember that one? There's a new iTunes I didn't really cover too much, but it allows you to do more things than before. I'm going to probably hit the Panorama app the first and show you what's going on with that. And shared photo stream, FaceTime over cellular, and somebody else asked about, I'm going to talk about podcasts. Does anybody here listen to podcasts a lot? A lot. Okay. I'll tap on that too. Don't let me forget. So first I'm going to talk about the Panorama app because I think it's one of the best features, and it's in iOS 6 and it works on all your devices. The iPhone 3GS has an adequate camera. It's the same camera that's in the iPad 2. Yeah. No. Yeah, in the iPad 2. The 4 has a pretty good camera, and that's the same one that's in the new iPad. The iPhone 4S has a great camera, and the 5 has a great camera with also a little bit more light can come in. So they really are making these cameras amazing. Does anyone know what the best camera in the world is?
One you have with you.
Exactly. And how many here are iPhone owners? So you always have the best camera in the world with you. Use the damn thing. Panoramas are great, but when I ship a package, I take a photo of the shipping label. I don't write it all down. I take a picture of it on the counter, so when they say, "No, you gave us that package dented and things were falling out," I can prove it didn't. I go to the store and I'm looking for a throw rug and I can't remember I want to remember the price and the size. I take a picture of the shelf tag. Things like that to remember. This is a tool. It's also very fun, but go ahead.
It doesn't have a zoom though, does it?
Yes.
It does, but you don't want to use the zoom.
You want to go closer?
No, it's a digital zoom, and so what happens if I take a picture, if I zoom in on the picture, and I'm not going to hold it as accurate. I'll show you that stuff in a sec, but basically anything you can do zoom here, you can do afterwards on the screen or on your computer.
Yeah.
So here's the theory of zooms and cameras. Here's your eyeball. Okay? Here's your camera. You're looking through your camera. And I'm looking at a palm tree over here, and I am everything far from an artist, okay? So if I'm trying to hold this steady, and I'm holding my camera steady and trying to go there, it's going to be a small palm tree, but I'm holding it steady. I can make it bigger here. If I zoom in, instead of looking at this and looking at this whole picture, if I zoom into here, it's at the end of a lever arm. So a half a degree of movement is going to make a huge difference, but a half a degree of shape. These have image sensing stabilization in them, but don't zoom. It won't help you. And it can make things worse because it's a digital zoom. On the other hand, I have one of the greatest cameras. It's called a super zoom camera from Canon, an SX40. And those of you familiar with cameras, it goes from 24 to 840. And it has great image stabilization. And beyond that, it goes digital even farther. Okay? $270 at Fry's these days. Anyway.
But you got to anchor it now.
No, because it has really good image stabilization. But as you zoom out, there's my tripod right there. I use that on my tripod. Which, by the way, I'm glad that came up because I brought my tripod. This is a Joby Gorilla Pod. I can wrap it around. If I'm on a cruise, I can put it on the edge of the railing, preferably inside slightly. And it has a 1/4-20 thread on it. But I always have my iPhone in a case, and by the way, I can show you where to get a good iPhone 5 case for about $7. But now, this is a little thing called an iStabilizer, $16 to $20, fits on any tripod. So think about the panoramas I'm going to show you right now, and I put it on top of a tripod, and I have a really stable platform. You need tripods less and less because there's image stabilization. I'll pass this around, but it's an iStabilizer, and I like it because I can put a case on it. Okay? These two are separate pieces. This is a Joby Gorilla. Hang on. What?
Where did you buy it?
I got it at Fry's, believe it or not, by mistake. I know where everything is at Fry's. I was looking for a card reader, I believe, for an SD memory card. Sorry. And I happened to see this little thing, and it says iStabilizer, and I'm like, wow. They even make one now where you put it on a Gorilla Pod like this, mount it here, and it has wheels on the bottom, and you can do like the things with the movies. But Joby Gorilla Pods, this is an old one. They have new ones with removable things on the top. But I'll pass this around. But really, I want you to look at the iStabilizer. Do not pull on this little lever. It pulls out. You don't need that for it. But it's iStabilizer, and I fell in love with it as soon as I got it. So you guys can pass them across the rows and then on the way back. There'll be a test later. So, the camera's a great camera. You know, you have portrait mode and landscape mode. We kind of talked earlier about the panorama. You always want to do in portrait mode because I want to get the photo as tall as I can because it's going to be really wide. I'm going to go into the panorama mode. So I go to my camera and I go up to options. I'll go here where you can see the screen a little better. HDR is just high definition or high dynamic resolution. It's good for low light situations. It takes two photos, one for light stuff and one for dark stuff, and combines them. That's what HDR is. Don't do things that are moving fast with HDR. Panorama, on the other hand, looks like this. And I'll get back here. And so I'm starting here in the corner. Okay, I'll start over here by the table. Everybody see okay? So I'm going to press the button at the bottom. I'm not touching anything else. Oh, it said to slow down a little. I want to keep it as level as possible. And I can only go so far. I can go up to 240 degrees.
Does it matter how fast you do?
It'll tell you to slow down. Yeah, you can go so. I got to the end. I can only do 240 degrees. Now, the thing is, it stitches the photo together. And you'll notice this is a challenging situation because I have lighter and darker areas. But this is such a good camera. You can see it, the jaggies up on the top there. Well, I can go. There's the beginning. Uh-oh. Come on. Come on here. Yeah. What I'm having to do is this is connected through the router to my machine with the special app I have. And it's failed. Panorama? Don't you have iOS? Do you have iOS 6 on there?
Yeah, I've got options and all I got Squid.
Oh, so I guess, is that the iPad 2 or the iPad 3? Wow, it's 3, I'm sorry, it's not a, oh boy.
And you think that the panorama goes all the 6 that we have
my cell phone.
Hang on one sec. I'm sorry. I'm